Hello ladies and gentlemen, and once again we'd like to thank you all for your patience. We've got about 30 seconds to go until we dive into that next match between Team Signature and Team NXL. Now with that being said, we actually do have a little bit of time to work with, so with that being said, I feel as though I want to, how do I put this? I want to give praise to Team NXL because after such a long deficit in terms of rounds, they managed to make, I'd say, a pretty glorious comeback a little bit towards the end of the second half of map number 1, which was Mirage. But here we are in map number 2, Cache. And we're only in the knife round, so I'm going to just cheat, alt tab a little bit and find out who voted for this map, and it looks like that is NXL's pick. So this is a comfort pick. That means essentially they feel comfortable going into this. It doesn't necessarily mean that their play is better on it, but perhaps they feel that their play on this map is better than that of Signature CSGO's. That's just putting it in a very layman's perspective, to say the very least. But I don't have the Twitch chat open right now, so I think it'd be best if I didn't. But yeah. Don't want to get too distracted by what you guys have to say. Unfortunately, I know a lot of you guys have respectable opinions and everything else in between, but the fact of the matter is I want to focus on the game and the game at hand and only the game at hand. The game, the whole game, and nothing but the game. And I know someone's going to say it in chat, but I just lost the game. But here we are now as the pistol round kicks off. With that being said, we are going to be seeing one utility man coming in from the CT side. Is it going to be two? Yes, it will be two. There are two smokes coming in from the CT side. And one kit, that would be Roseo with the kit. And we're going to have 5 Kevlars coming in from Signature CSGO again. Once again, hoping to win aim battles, primarily. They work in their favor, but they've got to quickly negate that distance advantage that the CTs have. But it looks like it's not happening. Sofunk gets a double before he's finally taken down. Flank coming in from Forged will shut down Cigarettes after he gets what is only one frag for his team. Toward the last man standing. Does not have the bomb on his person and has to play a 1 versus 4. Versus Ben Ted, it shouldn't be any problem. But, of course, we're talking about, 3 other people shooting at him at the same time, and it just doesn't come to light, unfortunately, as Roseo puts him to sleep, the USPS. So now here we are with 4 Tech 9s and a Deagle coming in from Signature CSGO. Not out, but certainly down. And they won't be out for at least another 15 rounds, if you will. We're talking about, of course, if it were to be a 16-0. Although I don't think it will be that way. I mean, Signature CSGO essentially came out on map number 1. Basically, I guess you could say like predicted, but it looks like Signature is going to get a double kill here, and this definitely opens up the path for them. They've got 1, maybe 2 SMGs to work with. Yes, they do, but, I mean, versus M4s in full body armor, it's not going to be amazing. We're going to be seeing Tor taken down, signed out by Bentet. So that's 1 SMG already gone, and arguably the better of the 2 in this situation. Bizons are pretty good for matchmaking, if you will. I mean, we're talking about, but yeah, just for matchmaking on the post-pistol round, that's about it. And you have to win the pistol round for it to be useful, but here we are now with Roseo going to hold down quad. He's going to be taking down 1, looks like QQ up to about 1 shot before he's taken down, and it's going to be Olivia coming in to reinforce his teammate, who just shortly gets Kobe'd. Now it's 1 versus 1, might be doable coming in for Olivia. He's just got to time that step out right. Is he going to be moving through the smoke? He will not be. He's just going to be in the smoke. He's got to pray to God that his feet won't be spotted by Bentet. And Bentet, he's checking everything that he can. Smoke's clearing up now. Doesn't spot anything. Reveals his position with footsteps. And he will still win that duel. So nicely done coming in from NXL. Although this does turn into an expensive win for them. I'm looking at this and I'm trying to measure up the situation. Obviously, their buy is going to be better than Signature CSGO's, but not going to be what you would call fantastic. if you will. It's going to be 2 players stacked on top mid coming in. Stupid me, I forgot to turn on the auto director. QQ looking for something to connect through those pot shots. Unfortunately, he finds nothing and takes about 77 damage there, 98 damage. And Tor is now down to about 91 HP. He will trade his Deagle for a P250. Understandable choice given that he's essentially one shot now. Roseo does toss a molly in there. QQ is finally put out of his misery. And Tor is all on his lonesome. It's going to be Olivia looking for another one. Suofeng is going to be taking that famous 2 gigs. 4 versus 3 now. 3 versus 2 as we see a trade come in and Tor manages to put one on the board for himself. Is he going to get a second? No, unfortunately he takes the first shot. And he's walled out. Now it's cigarettes against 2, and he will be taken down as well. These are very expensive rounds coming in from NXL. We're talking about, you know, the pistol round is kind of a... It's not a big deal, but of course the post-pistol round, if you lose 4 of your players, you're talking about a significant amount of money that has to be respent the following round. But as you can see right now, 3 wins in a row coming in from the CT side, but the terrorist side has more money than all of them and may just have, you know, I think potentially... about the same amount of money as the CT side after the buys are all made. See, there it is. Boom. The dynamics of the Counter-Strike global offensive economy at work. Here comes a twist. Signature CSGO has brought an AWP to the game. It's going to be on Olivia. With that being said, we now have... something on our hands, but what is it? It's going to be Suofeng making a nice headshot onto Olivia. Taking the AWP out almost immediately. It's going to be a second frag as well. Bomb dropped, and now might call in a rotate from his teammates, but as I say that, Tor brings it back to 3 versus 3. Not only the, you know, I mean, manpower is even, but there's actually an HP advantage there for the terrorist side. Also, of course, they have the natural firepower advantage. So this has turned into an awkward twist of things. I mean, obviously, the high impact frag was made on Olivia when he was taken down and out first. Tor manages to take down Bentet, and that's going to be Signature QQ taking down Suofeng on the rotate as well. So they pick up the bomb, they take the long rotate, they get the bomb down at B, and now last player standing is going to be Roseo. Him all on his lonesome. Let's take things to Roseo TV and see what he thinks is up. He's going to spot 1, but this is a very awkward position. Patience is the game that we saw coming in from Signature's Tor there. I think that was... he was on the left side as Roseo was going in, if I'm not mistaken. And he's like, okay, well, my teammate's still alive. He's not overstepping his boundary. There's no reason for me to overpeak. Although if you're in matchmaking, you might just call that a lousy teammate. I'm just kidding. But again, that economy coming in for Team NXL, this is typically, you know, you could see by some, in other matches, you could typically see the counter-terrorist side get to 3 rounds before they're taken off of their first round. Rather, if what I mean to say is when the terrorist side gets their first round, you would see that some CT teams still have enough for something of a rebuy, but that's not the case here. All we see is 1 upgraded pistol, and that's it, coming in from Bentet. Well, he didn't feel a thing. He didn't feel a thing. Unfortunately, Bentet was not long for this world, and Tor's looking for a second. And this is a paycheck round coming from Signature CSGO. I wouldn't say, again, not the flawless victory we've all been looking for, but they put their round on the board. And now Team NXL are going for nothing more than a couple more upgraded pistols on this round. Frost Misty now poking in through the back door, and that is a very nicely done 5-7 frag. It's gonna be Olivia getting another one, but and a double as well. But this is gonna look like, I wouldn't say it's a complete paycheck round coming in from Signature CS:GO, but they do build up a pretty good bank off the back of this. Looking for the Kobe, just gonna find it. Nicely done as Olivia gets himself 3 kills this round. Another rifle round comes in from Team NXL, and if they are not able to take this one, they're going to be in a pretty rough position, really. We're talking about as many as potentially 2 more rounds going to the enemy team before they get a full buy back in. But it's Roseo who manages to get the opening frag. He's refragged immediately by Olivia. It's going to be a Molotov thrown onto Bentet's position. He's forced to go back into smoke. But I believe at this point Signature is, for the most part, oblivious to his position. Tor waiting for someone to overstep their boundaries at checkers. He's unfortunately flashbanged, and he is just gonna backpedal backwards. That's gonna be now Bentet getting a double kill to his name. Slafong forced to step through smoke. It's going to be Tor now coming in, and nicely done as he takes 1, 2 down. NXL's positioning right now is not amazing, but Swalfong does manage to get 1 frag, and Frost Misty another brings it back to 2 versus 1, straight from 3 versus 2. But now Cigarette's back into the 1v1. He should know the last position. He should know the positioning of Frost Misty, but of course, after a little bit more movement, that is going to be the round win coming in from NXL by a ring and a prayer. But look at the money here from Signature CS:GO. It's almost a null factor. You can see the frags on the right-hand side. Given that not even 8 rounds have been concluded yet, Tor's fragging has been great. Swalfong and Bentet have been respectable. But for the Signature CS:GO side of things, Olivia and Tor have definitely proven themselves as more than worthy. As they basically more or less managed to pull out 1 frag average per round. Roseo is waiting for that overaggressive push. He will find the opening frag. Nicely done with that lurk. Bentet now waiting for someone to poke up mid. It could be Roseo who could reveal the position. That will be a reveal. Scope back in from Olivia. But question is, are we going to be seeing Swalfong getting aggressive here? He did. Bentet is there for the cover though, and that's going to be, looks like, unfortunately not a great amount in the way of exchanges that go in favor of Team NXL. We will be seeing gigs go down, but the question is, can we see Frost Misty pull off the 1 versus 2? 54 seconds remain before the bomb is planted, and there it is. Now we're going to be seeing, it looks like, a Deagle and a P250 coming straight out from the Team NXL side of things. But that's about it. 4-4 in terms of rounds. Certainly a better start to this map than it was on the first one, but they're making it, I mean, right now this is not looking pretty. We got Tor at 1 HP. I mean, that's kind of insult to injury, and now, I mean, it's all on Frost Misty. And it looks like, I think he's just going to try and capitalize on some kind of an exit frag here. He's right in front of Heaven. And he might be able to get gigs. He's got enough HP on him, or rather his HP is low enough to make a P250 shot at point blank or near point blank lethal. And that's what's going on here. Great stuff indeed. So here we are now. It looks like it's going to be a pretty big B play coming in from Signature CSGO. We can all see that on the minimap. Be that as it may, they've actually taken a little bit more damage just before Giggs got his opening frag, but Tor manages to get himself a double kill, and that justifies the amount of damage they took going into this. I think that might have been unanimous frags purchased coming in from the CT side. But as it is right now, Roseo is the last man standing. They were hoping to get something like a double, triple, quad Kobe, or something like that. Man, yeah, it's just not looking pretty. I think I missed that. I do apologize. I missed the purchase at the beginning of the round. But checking things out now from both sides. Olivia's not going with any utilities. Of course, Olivia spent all of his money on the AWP and Kevlar, as well as helmet that he's using at this moment in time. Team NXL, there it is. I mean, we've got our... I don't know which rifle round this is for them, but it's just not looking pretty for them. Well, I mean, this round, they look like they're in slightly better shape than Signature CSGO, but the question is, can they shut down Signature CSGO on this round? I mean, the money is there for them, and that's off of, what, 6 rounds in a row coming in from Signature CSGO, more or less. Almost essentially able to take pretty much every single round to the bank. 6 wins and you know, 4 players, 3 players that are in the 10K range. That's amazing for them, really. And of course, the bank builders aren't the kills that you get unless you're using maybe a Mag 7 and you get 5 every single round, but rather the rounds that you win and stay alive through. A main execute coming now from Signature CSGO. They're just waiting for that move, that pick. They do manage to fire off a shot, but that one just, it looked like Olivia nearly got the hit on that. Maybe it was some kind of a, maybe just, you know, jumping a little bit too much, moving a little bit too much. Just wasn't able to land the shot due to the laws of recoil and Counter-Strike. But here we are now with cigarettes going in. It looks like I turned off X-ray vision by mistake. I apologize. Here we are now. Exchanges coming in here, and that is going to be already 3 for 3. And the rotates coming in from the CT side. They've got to make this perfect, however, if they want to get the retake. More or less stay on top of trades. Cigarettes, is he going to overpeak is a good question. Tor takes down the first one, and that is going to be Frost Misty in for the refrag. Switches to USPS, reloads on the AK. He's going in with a pop flash. That's one very blind Tor. Probably tapped the bomb. You know, I mean, when you hear the footsteps there, did he have a kit though, Frost Misty? Hard to say, but now they're not in such a great position, and the bank more or less grows off of this for Signature CSGO. Actually, the profit that they made off the back of that last round was very marginal. The fact of the matter is they still have money now, and Team NXL are going to have to play through this against using only upgraded pistols in order to make this work for themselves. And that's what's going to make this a little bit more difficult for them. But Signature CSGO, after not getting such a great start to the first half, is definitely getting a good finish to it. Cigarette spots Swapong. That is going to be them pushing in. I mean, they haven't lost any of their guys yet, which is, you know, I mean, it's again, it's another 3250 for each player, looking like it's going to hit the bank. 1 versus 2 here, nicely done, however, from Frost Misty. So he does, you know, kind of make it a little bit expensive for the terrorist side, but or at least cost them something in the way of this. Wouldn't call that massive economic growth for the entire team, but wow, check this out, James Bond. Wow. I wouldn't say James Bond, but Houdini the escape artist for a short moment in time. That was the play that I saw anyway. Okay. So here we are now with Team NXL with a full buy off the back of this round, and there's only 3 more left to this half, including this 1 round. So they've got to make this count. They've got a potential of 7 rounds to take before they go over to the terrorist side. He's going to be spraying through now. And as it is, it's actually Frost Misty who's taken very low by that spray. Flashbang in. That's going to be Giggs making the opening frag. Delphong not too happy in that position. Roseo's position revealed. Will still make a double kill, so he trades himself out quite fairly. Left with only 8 HP at this moment in time. Fragmentation grenade onto Tor. They don't know that it actually impacted anything, though, as Tor does find the headshot onto one player. But Frost Misty, despite having only 1 HP, makes himself count as well. Roseo, only 8 HP, is going to be accompanied by Bentet for what I imagine will be an attempt at a retake. They're already on max loss bonus, so, you know... Ooh, boy. That's not good. Well, Tor takes down Roseo. 2 versus 1. His position is revealed. There should obviously be one on site, but although he throws out a molly, it's him who's shut down. I mean, QQ gets himself a double kill by the end of the round, and now we see 4 players above 10k for Signature CSGO side of things, but of course that's gone once we see Giggs make his purchase. And of course QQ as well. Full buy coming in now from Team NXL. I think this is where they say, alright, well, maybe we should consider throwing strategy out the window. Maybe they think we're going to be on Eco in this position, or soft buy, soft Eco. And that's going to be Tor. He makes a headshot onto Frost Misty, if I'm not mistaken, but it's Tor who actually manages to get a headshot onto him, and he's got the firepower advantage. Swafong manages to bring things back to a 4 versus 4 on his end. Not too terribly bad at all. Positioning wise, they are redirecting for an A execute right now, and what's happening there is Tor, he's low HP on B, and he's going to be trying to go in there, but Cigarettes manages to get that 1 frag and bring it back to a 4 versus 3, so the trade should go in their favor as long as they stay on top of that aim. But it's going to be Roseo who's on the other side of Red Crate. He's looking for something else now that he's gotten 1 frag. Tor blind fires through that, manages to find 1, nearly gets himself a second. Bentet says, I'm not going to take it. He returns fire, and he manages to take down QQ. Plant now coming in from Olivia. Higher HP. Tor on forklift, only 10 HP remains on him. No utilities to work with from NXL, so it's all aim battles from here on out. Even for Signature CSGO side of things, but Olivia... Doesn't he hear the footsteps? I imagine he would hear the footsteps. Firing around the corner, just pop shots here and there. And did not spot the head going above the crates, but unfortunately he will get what he's looking for, and that is going to take Team NXL to 4 rounds, while Signature CSGO is at 10. They managed to take themselves to 10, rather. Will they get away with 11, or are we going to see Team NXL manage to steal the 5th going into the second half? It's worth noting that on Mirage, they took 6 rounds going into the first half on the CT side, and then they were taken down in the second half. Swafong and Frost Misty make their frags happen. Bentek gets aggressive with his farmers and positioning as well. So now it's turned into a 3 versus 2. However, if QQ plays this right, he should be able to get 1 for his time, I imagine. Multiple CTs from 1 entrance is not the most optimal of retakes, but can't fault them for trying. That Molotov is going to put Cigarettes in an uncomfortable position. Flashbang goes in, and Roseo is going to go charging in, looking for that angle. He will indeed find Cigarettes, and Well, that is going to result in... Is that a contestable retake coming in? Oh my, he makes the headshot land on the bomb diffuser, but of course... 10 seconds to work with, no kit. Should be doable, yeah. Yeah, it's doable, definitely. So, Team NXL gets away with 5 rounds on the first half, while Signature gets to 10. However, I did say this before with someone else that I was co-casting with. I believe it was Tom. And I'd like to just say it again, and that is basically I feel as though map picks are made based on how comfortable a team feels with playing on terrorist side. Of course, there's only so many times you can do sneaky shenaniganry on the CT side, that is to say get aggressive with weaker weapons before it's caught onto and shut down by apt players and teams. So we'll see how things go here for Team NXL on their pistol round. They do have 3 Kevlar vests and what was 1.5 utility men. What I mean by that, well, hold that thought. Giggs getting in here with the flank. There's a P250, and that was shut down immediately, actually, coming in from Giggs, so nicely done by him. They are now struggling to get onto bomb site, but getting very lit. The CT's taking a lot of damage from this, however, haven't lost a single player. It's going to be Giggs getting one. He's looking for another. He still stands to make an ace if it's possible, but Tord denies that as he gets a double kill. And now we're going to be seeing Cigarettes playing off of Squeaky. He's taken down and out. Swapunk, last man standing, but Giggs is going to get his triple kill. So nicely done coming in from Signature CSGO. It was a nice attempt coming in from NXL. A little bit, in some ways, reminds me of. I think this was how the second pistol round on map 1 went. They got the bomb plant down, I believe, and on top of that, they also managed to. What is it? They managed to get a pistol buy about 2 rounds after. Torres a TMP on his person and is going to hold his ground quite nicely. Throws down an incendiary and he doesn't kill Cigarettes. Will. A little bit of friendly fire in there will actually contribute to 1 frag being made by Frost Misty, but that is all we're going to see coming in from the Team NXL side of things. So now they have money and it's enough to make their rifle purchases. Decent utilities. But coming in from Signature CSGO side of things, they don't, I mean, like, a FAMAS is a FAMAS, an M4 is an M4. If I'm not mistaken, the FAMAS uses a different bullet as well, which means, I believe if it hits someone in the leg or the foot, it does only 20 damage, as opposed to an M4 doing about 26. So, bit by bit, it makes a big difference. It also depends on how far away from your target you are, really. So we'll see how this works out for them in the near future. Execute coming in onto bomb site A now for Team NXL. It's 1-for-1 as Olivia leads the frags. Gotta stay on top of the trade. Cigarettes gonna hop above smoke, but is unable to follow up. Bentek gets his second instead. And that's going to be QQ on quad. He's taken down by Frost Misty. Coming in for the return frag, however, is Giggs, and he's traded out by Bentet, who happily gets away with a sick quad. At first I thought my eyes had deceived me, or my eyes were playing tricks on me, but it looks like indeed Bentet did get away with a quad. Well, I didn't want to call it wrong, so that's why I didn't say the quad was coming in. Execute now. Looks like it's going to be bomb site B coming in from Team NXL, and Signature CSGO only on upgraded pistols. Going to take a bit of a conservative approach against this, but not leave themselves completely out of this round. 2 Deagles, a CZ, a P250. Those are all one-shot capable for those of you who may be new to this game. It really just depends on distance. Deagle, no matter the distance, you'll always get that frag. And I don't know why we aren't following Bentet, the frag machine. There he is. He gets 1, 2 for his time. And that's going to be a plant coming in now from Forged. Two CTs remain. Don't think they'll be playing for retake, but looks like they might try to get some exit frags, trying to make this an expensive win coming in from Team NXL. But they've yet to make any frags, and it looks like I'm probably eating my words as I see QQ rotating to another exit on bomb site B, this time towards T spawn. And it looks like he might just get something here. He sees it. He's waiting for that to back up. He's thinking where there's one, there might be another. Maybe Roseo. No. Only becomes aware just a second too late, unfortunately, and it's only $300 more to the pockets of Team NXL, but it's really not that bad. Wow, wait. Internet? Oh my goodness. Well, it looks like we're having some kind of technical issues. Unfortunately, 2 players DC'd at the same time, and I guess we will be prompted to do something about this very shortly. By the way, for those of you just now tuning in, if you'd like to cast your vote, type in !vote and go to the Twitter URL where you guys can hashtag NXL win or hashtag signature CSGO win. Right now, I'd say NXL, they're 4 rounds away from defeat, but as it stands, they are not completely out of this. But admin said, hello. Oh, okay. I was about to say, yeah, never mind. But it looks like, okay, they reconnected after what has been a short delay, and we're not going to need to go to a commercial break or anything like that, guys. So it's great to see that you're all still here. Unpause now coming through, and with that being said, Team NXL, they have the firepower advantage here. Signature CSGO says, oh man. Well, I don't know how to feel about this. I mean, maybe it would have been a better idea to wait for one more round to go to Team NXL side of things, but I mean, they're not going to have any money problems rebuying if they lose this round in particular. But what happens if Signature CSGO loses this round? If I'm not mistaken, this is like maybe their second, their third loss in a row in terms of round score. But that being said, they've just expended all of their bank accounts on this round. QQ getting aggressive in A main. This is, you know, something that can work to his advantage. We'll be seeing now Roseo hopping through smoke. Olivia is going to get the opening frag, however, and that's going to be a second one by Tor. Oh my god. QQ finishes what he starts, although there's no assist counted for this. Bentat's going to make the Alamo happen, or is he? It's 3 kills, but he got denied the quad as he was stuck on the reload, if I'm not mistaken. Signature CSGO to take the win, and although it's expensive, we got something to work with off the back of this round. I imagine there would probably be only one deficient buy coming in at most. Yeah, we can see if Famas was purchased and dropped for one player. Tor's gonna have to make a choice between Kevlar and M4, or yeah, that's gonna be the choice. Indeed. So I mean, like, that's kind of a little bit of a deficient purchase, but I'd say that it's certainly better than only having a Tech 9 with full utilities to go with it. Of course, the terrorist side naturally has the firepower advantage, and this is a stack at mid coming in from the terrorist side, looking like they are going to try and find that, how do I put this, advantage to work with. Giggs making the opening frag triple as well. That was a collateral with 1 bullet, if I read that correctly. Yeah, it was. Sick stuff. And he's got a chance to make an ace happen, but QQ is in the right position to take down Forged, if I'm not mistaken. Tor stays patient, finds his frag, and says, nope, that AVI to any ace happening here for Giggs. But Forged is the last man standing for Team NXL. He's got the bomb on his person. I mean, you know, maybe you can get a bomb plant down if it's a miracle, but that's exactly what it needs to be. Nothing more, nothing less. Looks like he's been spotted at mid. Yeah. Signature CSGO, they take it just like that, you know? And now, looking at the money side of things coming from Team NXL, it's just not looking pretty. Gonna make that force buy to avoid playing overtime, but that, I mean, even if they get this round, they're gonna have to get, you know, another 8 in a row to make it happen. Or rather, 9 in a row to make it happen. Altogether. Execution utilities going in, and that is looking like... Okay. I'm trying to figure out what that was. Okay, it was a last-minute utility coming in from the bomb carriers. QQ gonna make one, Giggs gonna make another. Frost Misty manages to seal out one trade, but Giggs is there to get another to his name, and he's gonna get himself a triple. Am I reading this right? Last man standing is gonna be Frost Misty, and he's up mid, and he's gonna play against 3 different players in this position. Frost Misty now looking like he's gonna poke up highway. If he aims right, he might just be able to take down Olivia, but Olivia should be pre-aiming the angle that he's at. Yeah. There we go. I was just, you know, all you have to do is glance at the minimap there and you can tell what the op player is doing in that position. But here we are at match point now. Team NXL at the end of their rope. 4 Tech 9s and a UMP coming in now. It's gonna be one. Bit of damage done across Misty. They're pouring in right now. It's a nice opening. 2 frags coming in from Team NXL now. For 3 and 3 for 3. Holy sweet mother of chaos is what this round was. As we now see Team NXL managed to go in with the deficient firepower and managed to pull out the bomb plant. Maybe they can get away with this round on the board. Last player standing will be QQ, and that is it. So I'm going to save that M4. Let's check things money-wise. You know, Solfung's going to be very happy to get it with $600 more for that frag, but all in all, as it stands, Signature CSGO is in a good position right now. Despite that loss. I mean, they could probably get away with this round. And, like, I mean, even though we saw Team NXL win that previous round, the money there, it's forced buy coming in from them. 4 M4s, only thing missing is helmets, but again, playing against Ts, you don't really need those. Because if you get shot in the head with one weapon or the other, you're basically dead at point-blank range. And as it stands now, it's looking like it's going to be a very rapid bomb site B execute. Frost Misty going in immediately through vents. If it wasn't him, it was going to be Swafong who got the frag on the tour. Now we're going to be seeing Cigarettes lighting things up through smoke. It's still 4 versus 5 in favor of the Indonesians. And we've got 5,000 crazed fans all watching their game right now. Flank coming in from QQ. A Titan from Thailand. The flick from Olivia. 6 stuff coming in. Roseo is going to get one. He's looking for the other, and that's going to seal the deal on round number 9 for Team NXL. But we have to be very, very real here. It's a very long climb back up this ladder, and we saw them in a similar position on map number 1. And for those of you who missed my analysis earlier of Signature CSGO against Team NXL, I put them slightly in favor of this. And so far, it looks like, you know, I didn't call an end score between either of the teams at the beginning of this match. or at the beginning of either map, and I don't want to do that now because it's too late. But what I wanted to say, hold that thought. Cigarette's looking like he's gonna get aggressive, look for that frag, but Swafong shuts him down. 4 versus 5, although just barely. Swafong is, you know, a zombie in this case, but Roseo and Frost Misty bring it back to 2 versus 5, and there's only QQ with a P250 on his person. That's it. One headshot from that distance takes his target down to 4 HP. Paycheck round, but it cost them a lot. So, right, what I mentioned earlier in the analysis of Signature CSGO against NXL is that Signature CSGO previously was able to stomp Mongols when they had NCL Meister and there was one other player that was on their team besides Machine Gun. They were able to beat them in the DreamHack Malmo Asia qualifiers. And that's what essentially gave NCL Meister and his teammate the boot from the team, and what happened was there were 2 players that were picked up to replace those 2 players, and that was Cabal as well as Element. But I'm very eager to see who they invited back to the roster, if there was any change since Machine Gun decided to leave. Roseo makes the opening frag onto QQ. Going to continue to press forward to what looks like it's going to be bomb site A. Squeaky, I mean, like right there, we can just see the minimap. Olivia's in a very, very heated position. Still going to find one before he's taken down, however. As it stands now, we've got Giggs taken down. Frost Misty holding down the fort. Trying to catch anyone on the rotate. It's now 1 versus 3, and Tor looks like he wants to hold on to that weapon, maybe try and get some exit frags. You can see that he's the top fragger for his team. Definitely showed up on this map. So he's done his part. That looks like that's 2 very expensive frags that Team NXL didn't necessarily need to give to Tor. But at the same time, I'm sure Tor is more than happy to take that. He gets away with a triple kill. Is he going to get a quad by the end of this? Looks like answer's going to be no. Five AK-47s, full-blown utilities, everything else in between. Signature CSGO looks like they're going to go with a force buy. Trying to finish this as quickly as possible. Something close to a force buy, but Tor actually has a lot of money on his person, so that's why he's decided to go ahead and make that M4 purchase. So definitely a respectable choice coming in from him. Thought it was a drop from a teammate, but here we are. Tor makes the opening frag. It's going to be Forged making 1 refrag, brings it back to 4-4, but that CZ kill coming in from Cigarettes on Heaven does manage to bring it to 3-3. I'm sorry, 3-4. Bentet brings it to 3-3. Now we're going to be seeing Bentet looking for a second one. He'll be lit up and shut down by his teammates Molotov. Bomb plant going down uncontested, but now it's still, oh my god, it's 1 versus 3 now. We see Roseo taken down in checkers, and that is going to be map number 2 going to Signature CSGO. We'd like to congratulate them on their 2-0 victory against Team NXL. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back after about